Yes, this is another episode. Oh, Lord.
Oh, wow.
This is another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth, episode 6, season 2.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Season 2.
Forgive me, y'all, for laughing. We was laughing off air about something that is just sad. But anyway, I mean, not that it's sad, that it's tragic, but it's just stupid funny. But anyway, so Zaccheus, what's up, man?
It was good, man. I'm here in the building. What's good, man?
All right. So let me tell the audience what I'm laughing at. I'm sorry. I saw something on Instagram.
Yeah, share it with them.
Let's just do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not laughing because this happened because it's sad, but so TMZ got a video. I don't even know how old this is, but TMZ got a video. Oh, by the way, this is the fifth general speaking. TMZ got a video of Todd Bridges from Different Strokes. And in the video, your man catches a 2-piece, sadly.
Ooh, yeah.
So what I mean is that he caught a combination of this one punch. I don't know what happened. But your man got laid out. I mean, he got up, thank God, but he must have been in the club somewhere. I don't know where he was. And a comedian by the name of Rob Stapleton on his Instagram did the voiceover. The voiceover had me crying because in the voiceover, when he gets knocked out, and they say, "Come on, let's go," and then he says, "Nah, I'm gonna wait till the music comes on," and then they start, and then he plays the theme music to Different Strokes.
Yeah, by the way, those who don't know, that's Todd Bridges.
Exactly, that's Todd Bridges. You know what I'm saying? The theme music just starts, man. It takes different strokes. It takes. I mean, come on now. Don't be
different strokes.
like that's messed up. You know what I mean? But anyway.
80 sitcom.
Right. What you talking about, Willis? Rest in peace to Gary Coleman. But
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's get into the show.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna talk about the backlash from Kevin Hart's tweets, from the Oscar controversy, controversy. We're going to talk about Nick Cannon's input. But before we get into that, Zaccheus, you want to get into reggae artist, legend, Buju Banton being released and coming home to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Wait, he was already in Jamaica, right? He was locked up in Jamaica, right? Where was he locked up at?
No, he was locked up in Georgia, in the U.S.
All right, but he's back in Jamaica now.
Last Friday was the time he was released. Last Friday night.
Okay.
And he flew from Jamaica to Florida, and then to Florida. He gonna take him back to Jamaica. For those who don't know, you gotta know who Buju Banton, the legendary.
Wait a minute. He went. You mean he went from Georgia to Florida to Jamaica?
To Florida to Jamaica, yeah.
Oh, okay. Just making sure, because I thought you said he went from Jamaica to Florida back to Jamaica.
No.
Okay, there we go. All right, go. All right, carry on.
Oh yeah. For those who don't know, man, Buju Banton, man, classic hits, man. The album from Mr. Mention from way back in the days, from I Love Me Browning to Black Woman to the song to the album Inner Heights. Had a close one yesterday. Be strong, I say. For meditation, one day things must get better. Don't you go down, keep your head above that water. Say one day things must. Buju Banton, yeah, the icon. Classical Buju Banton, legendary. He's my inspiration for my music, So, he was released. He was in prison and he was serving a 10-year sentence over conspiracy over a drug trade that happened in 2009, and he was sentenced to prison. Got on drug charges on cocaine in February of 2011 for illegal drugs and a firearm. So he served his time, and as he served his time, he in all this time in prison, it was a lot of time in prison. All this time in prison, a lot of time. So we finally, everybody, it was highly anticipated for his release. I know a lot of people back in his homeland of JA was waiting, and people overseas, across board was waiting too for his return. I know I was waiting for his return too, because I'm like, man, the man, he served his time. He paid his debt to the society. Now he's back to rekindle time that he lost with his daughter. And now he's back. But it was a conspiracy over drugs, man. And now he's back in Jamaica, relaxing, and get ready to record again sometime and do some collaborations and catch up. And catch up on some time that he lost, you know. So welcome back, Buju Banton.
Yeah, welcome home.
Welcome back. Yeah.
So you sent me something. You sent me something on. You sent me an article. I ain't even get a chance to see the video, my dude. But you sent me the article about a sister. This was in New York, right? About this. Explain what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
In Brooklyn, New York, had a situation with the peace officers in a facility. I can't remember the facility that she was in, but they told her to leave, and she refused. She didn't want to leave.
Right.
Well, she had a child. She had a child with her, like the boy was a toddler. Was a toddler. So they decided. Police officers decided on which was a crazy decision to do. They decided they're gonna arrest her because she's refusing to leave the facility. So what they did that made them look bad is they tried to they grabbed the child. They was yanking the child away from her arms. They was yanking her child away from her arms, and it was like 3 officers doing this, 3 of them. So when I look at that video, I'm like, this is so cruel. You know, look how they treat us, like people. Look how they treat us. They shoot us, and this is how they treat us. So I'm looking at that video, and most people that look at that video say it's disturbing. If you look at the video, look at the footage. And it takes place in Brooklyn, New York, about this young lady with getting her child snatched, trying to physically, so they can arrest her. It looks just disturbing, you know. And this is how they treat us. And I look at that. Sometimes I don't even want to look at that video because the video is so disturbing.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful. They could have better ways of that issue. They didn't have to yank the child away. This is not, they didn't have to literally yank the child away.
Look,
those days.
We all know there's no age limit to police brutality when it comes to who they normally commit police brutality against. You know. So I'm not surprised. I mean, like I said to you off air, Philangelo Castillo had his family in the car, had baby girl in the back seat. That didn't stop a police officer from shooting in the car wildly.
Right.
I mean, God forbid, baby girl could have got shot. And then years ago, maybe 2 years ago, Corinne Gaines. I mean, she's dead now, but Corinne Gaines had her son in an apartment, and the police got in there. When they let off a shot, they shot the 5-year-old somewhere in the leg or in the arm or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then we know the story of Tamir Rice, 12 years old.
Yeah, 12 years old, Tamir Rice.
Police drive-by shooting, basically. He had a cap gun. And you know, I remember when they tried to lie and say that Tamir pulled out his cap gun at the police. He ain't do no such thing when you look at the video footage. No such thing. So the point I'm trying to make is they don't care if you got a baby. And you know what? Historically, they ain't never cared about black babies. Because in slavery, they used to use black babies as alligator bait. Hello.
Ooh, hello. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So they ain't never cared.
You know, a lot of folks don't know that. A lot of us are not aware of that.
Oh no, and it was on postcards. Back then, it was on stamps and postcards of actual black babies of slaves at the time. used as alligator bait to catch the alligators. It's disgusting. But,
it's crazy.
You know, like Michael Jackson said, all I got to say is they don't really care about us.
Care about us.
Right? So, Michael Jackson, rest in peace, Michael Jackson. But, you know, look.
Yeah.
What else you got to say about, man, what's your overall opinion of this, man? Like, what's your overall opinion of what happened with the sister, man?
I mean, most people said that she should have left the facility.
Yeah.
And that she should have, you know, abide by their rules and left the facility. But I didn't know what happened, what made her want to stay. I didn't know exactly what made her want to be police and stay.
Yeah. Well, you know, well, you know what they say. Anytime something happens, the police brutality apologists will say, "Oh, well, we don't know what happened before, so we can't say what happened." So in this situation, okay, all right, with the sister on camera, I guess we don't know what happened before. Whatever. So maybe she had a right to be defiant. I don't know. I would say for the sake of my people's safety, look, man, you're not gonna win, man. You're not gonna win when it comes to these race soldiers, man. You're just not gonna win. Sadly. So you got it. So she was better off just leaving. I'm just saying. But the point I'm making is, this is what I'm saying to my brothers and sisters out there. Don't think because you got a baby in your arms that they're gonna be nice. They're not nice to us. Now, the good ones are. So shout outs to the good ones. You know, I've met in my lifetime some good police officers. You know, I'm going to call them police officers by respect because they were actually good ones. But those race soldiers, I watch out for them.
Yeah.
Police officers I respect, but race soldiers, you notice what I'm saying here, right? I'm making a distinction between the good ones and the bad ones. The police officers, I'm you know what I'm saying, you know, I'm down with that. Police officers,
yes.
That's the blue that I'll back. Police officers, good ones. But them race soldiers, I can't get behind them race soldiers. I'm sorry, them race soldiers should not be on the force. Get all the race soldiers out of there. That way we can have respectable police officers. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So
there's some that are good, what we should always do is because we know that you're gonna lose. Like you said, what Fifth said before, you know you're gonna lose. So it's best to comply.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's
for your own safety.
Here's what I want to say about the best to comply thing, because there have been occasions where we've always complied. Philando complied. Philando said in the video, "Officer, just to let you know, I'm a license." So you let the officer know I'm a license. I'm a licensed gun carrier, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to let a cop know if you're a licensed gun handler if they find a gun on you. Because they see a gun on you, they don't know what the heck to do. I mean, it don't even have to be a gun. I mean, you see people getting shot over hairbrushes.
Oh yes.
I mean, come on now. The one brother in St. Louis years ago, not Mike Brown, not him, but another brother, he got shot by a police officer over a sandwich.
In St. Louis?
Yeah, this was right after Mike Brown. He ain't dead, thank God, but he got shot over a sandwich. I mean, what are you doing? The man's walking around with a $5 footlong, and then you shoot him?
Wow, you hear things, you know that don't.
That's sick.
Wow, and this was only last year. See?
Yeah. Well, no, this was the same year Mike Brown. This was like, I think the year after Mike Brown. But his name was I think his name was Mike Brown. His name started with his name was dang, I forgot his name. But the point I'm making is, even when you comply,
the
point I'm making is, if a police officer gives you a chance, because I feel like a police officer, when he tells you to leave the building, he's giving you a chance. Now, if he already would have pulled his gun out on her, he ain't giving them that much of a chance. What I'm saying is, in that situation, my people, if a cop says, all right, leave now, just leave. I mean, because even if we have a right to be there, you know our civil rights are violated more than anybody else's. You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
So you know what the game is, you know. I pray I never had to deal with that, man.
Yeah.
I pray I never had to deal with that. I've been pulled over before, and thank God I've made it alive. But I'm telling you, man, I don't want to be in a situation like that, man.
Nah, you know, it's just
That's why I thank God daily, because I'm already knowing that the things that happen in this nation, the lack of justice that happens from this stuff. I mean, it's crazy. You know, I recommend a movie for everybody. There's a movie that I saw called The Hate You Give. Really?
yes. Oh, yes. That was a very powerful film.
Oh, you saw it?
Yes, I did.
Let's talk about it.
Very powerful film.
Let's talk about it, my brother. Now that you mentioned it, we'll get to Kevin Hart in a minute. The Hate You Give. I saw that movie the other day. The movie had me angry at the end because I was like, Jesus, I can't take it. But it hit home.
Yeah.
It hit home,
Yes, it
man.
did.
The way the movie was written, and shout outs to Amanda Steinberg. I think I'm saying her name right.
Right.
The actress and the young girl, cute girl. She grown, I can say that. Thank God. Whew. But anyway. Wait, is she?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
shit, wait a minute. Let me double check. Lord, help me today. Let me make sure. Jesus. Because we don't need to be having no problems here.
I think she's a teenager.
Nah, she can't be. She got to be grown now, man. She got to be grown now. Please be grown, because this is going to sound crazy. This is going to sound crazy. How old are you? You 20. Woof!
20 years old.
Woo.
Okay.
Thank God. Woo. I was about to get in trouble up in here. She 20 years old. Okay, in that case, good looking girl.
She's an
now I'm
adult.
gonna say it. Good looking girl. Good looking.
Yeah.
Pretty girl. I take her out on a date. Coffee, tea, you know. Anyway,
Anyway.
so she was in the movie, main actress, and she did a very good job. She can act. She did a
that probably was her first thing, right? I think that was her first thing.
No. She started out in Hunger Games. She was a kid in Hunger Games. No, and then she did a movie called The Darkest Minds. It was a sci-fi. They were like mutants or something like that. They had powers like X-Men or something like that.
Okay.
That came out this year as well. No. She been in the game. She been in the game. So anyway, that movie dealt with police brutality, but it also dealt with gang violence too.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
And they quoted Tupac lyrics. You know, the hate you give, thug, THUG, the hate you give. You know, and one of the things that stood out in the movie was the cycle. So basically, it talked about the cycle of violence and the cycle of police brutality. It was able to tackle both of those issues. I thought that was interesting. Regina Hall's also in the movie.
Yeah.
The brother from Grimm, he's in the movie. He did a good job too. I like him as an actor. Anthony Mackie, the one who plays Falcon in Avengers and all in the MCU, all the other Marvel movies, he was in it.
Yeah,
he did a good job.
Yeah.
He did. Let me tell you something. Anthony Mackie is a hero in the Avengers storyline, but he does a good job of being a villain. I can't stand him as a villain. I mean, the first time I seen him was in 8 Mile when he was Papa Dot. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, 8 Mile. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the first time I ever seen Anthony Mackie, man. But anyway, there's a scene in the movie, man. There's this one particular scene in the movie where at the end of the movie, where
It was a powerful scene. Yeah.
where her little brother has her father's gun, and he's telling Anthony Mackie, "Leave my daddy alone." The police show up. Man, my chest got tight because I said, Lord, I know this is a movie, but if these cops shoot this kid on camera, I said, I'm about to cut this movie off. And what happened? Amanda, her thing, what's her name? I got to say it right. She stepped in front of her.
The kid, the boy, the little boy.
Amanda stepped in front of Amanda Stenberg, her character, stepped in front of her little brother.
Yes.
Basically, the shield, and she made a statement.
Yeah.
Now, I probably spoiled it for y'all, but you should have saw the movie. But you can see the movie anyway because that's not the bulk of the movie. I'm just going to that particular scene.
Yeah.
Now, it's a movie, but understand, these are the things that we go through, man. And, now if this wasn't a movie, that kid probably would have got gunned down.
In real life.
In real life.
Remember the 12-year-old? Yeah, remember the 12-year-old?
It would have been a Tamir Rice situation.
Yeah.
And that boy in that movie had to be about, he had to be about the ages of 6 to 9. As a matter of fact, I think
6 or 7.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
9. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think the boy in that movie was the same boy who played the kid version of Killmonger in Black Panther. I think that's the same actor. I think it is.
I mean, the same boy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a good movie. The movie touched on some things. It touched on the plight of black people and what we go through when it comes to dealing with the police. But it also deals with the how important black parents are to talk to their kids about how to deal with police.
And that was, and I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but that was the beginning of the movie, though.
That was the movie started that way. The conversation started that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
it's a powerful film. Yeah.
So, good movie, but it kind of ties into what we're talking about. The point I originally made was, and I hope we're not getting off the point, is that, they ain't caring about the babies, man. Okay? But we got to care about our babies.
Yes, we do.
You know what I'm saying? And we can't have our children in harm's way. Can't have our children in harm's way, man.
Yeah, that's what it is, though, because we're responsible for our kids and teaching them.
Exactly. And now's not the time.
How to deal with
and I feel like at that, that's not the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? I understand you want to defend your right, but when you got the babies with you,
yeah, got to think different strategy now.
You got to let that pride die. And that's another thing that movie dealt with. In that movie, it dealt with stuff happening in front of the kids and what the father say. It's okay. It's all right. And that movie was so good because it dealt with the family element. Oh, also Regina Hall's in that movie too. But it dealt with the family element. It dealt with witnessing police brutality. It dealt with the PTSD factors of dealing with that. Of dealing with gang violence, of dealing with violence, period, and police brutality. It dealt with socializing with other people and other groups, non-black, when dealing with police brutality. It also dealt with that in the movie. It dealt with that dynamic. It dealt with the media's input. It dealt with activism. All of these things was in this movie, man.
These elements in the movie,
Yeah.
Especially what I did recognize in the movie was the strong family structure, the structure of the black family that we really have a lot of, and I see that, and I see how this father figure sat down and he teaches kids how to deal with the police when you're pulled over by the police. Put your hands on the dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
Put your hands on the dashboard. Let them see your hands.
Yep. Keep your hands still.
And it's like, Yes.
Announce everything that you do.
It's like,
that's what I do when I got pulled over.
Yeah.
And they say, yo, let me see your license and registration. I say, look, my license is in my wallet. My wallet is in my pocket. Okay?
No.
My wallet is in my pocket. My registration is in my glove compartment. I'm going to reach for my glove compartment. I announce. My hands is on the steering wheel, and I announce. Yes. What I do. On top of that, when I'm pulled over, I got my hands I got my hands outside the window so that they can see my hands when they walk up. I'm talking about after they done walked to their car and walked up to me. I got my hands outside of the car so that he can see my hands before, because I don't want him walking up and saying, whoa, he had his hands. No, my hands is out the window and ain't nothing in my hands. And I don't keep my fist balled. I keep my hand open, fingers spread.
Yes. And another thing I have to tell people too, do not act, calm down. Do not, when you pulled over or they question you, do not act irate. Calm down, take a breath, take a breather, and speak to them. Or speak to them on a respectful level. Speak to them on a level where it's like, where you're not getting crazy. And if they come to you crazy, the police come to you crazy, they come to you hard.
And my window
might get upset.
And my window was already rolled down because the last thing I need is my window rolled up. I pull over, turn my car off. Don't be having the music. No, don't do that. Pull over, turn the car off, put your hazards on. Put your hazards on. As soon as they pull you over, pull over, turn everything off, turn it off. Take the keys. If you got keys, because I have keyless, but if you have a car with keys, take the keys out. Put the keys on the dashboard.
Yes.
And like I said, announce everything that they tell you to do. Where's your license? My license in my wallet. Okay, I'm reaching into my wallet. Make sure they see the hands reaching for the pocket where the wallet is. Registration. I'm telling you, you gotta tell them that's what you're reaching for. I'm reaching for the registration. And God forbid they don't blow your head off.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And like I said, my hands is on the steering wheel. We're talking, right? But when But when he walks to his car, my hands are outside the car. Now, it looks kind of weird having your left and your right hand out, because your left, on the driver's side, your left's going to be out. But I got my left and my right.
Yes.
That's just what I do. But you don't have to. But at least, you know, it's just.
And this is another thing, too. I'm going to add to it, too. Another thing, too. Always stay in the car. Do not get out of the car.
Do not get out the car.
If he asks you, do not get out the car. Stay in the car.
And my window was rolled down.
Rolled down.
There have been cases where brothers have gotten killed because they say roll down the window, and when they reach for the window, they're shooting at you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
These cops are trained to be scared of us, man. I mean, there's like a fear.
Yes, it is. Yes. So always stay. Only if they ask you to get out, step out the car, you step out of the car. But whatever you do, do not step out of that car. Don't step out the car, because that's your life. Don't step out the car.
Yeah. Don't reach for nothing. Don't be reaching.
Don't reach for nothing.
Don't do that. Don't reach. If you've already given their license and their registration, they're like, well, they're like, okay, well, what else is he grabbing for? Because I told him I have his license and my registration in my hand. So what is he grabbing for? Y'all. I mean, they're already shook and nervous. They got their hand on the gun. I mean, I ain't never had a situation where the cop ain't never had his. No, they got their hand is on the gun. They got it ready. That hand is on the gun. It's not on a taser gun. It's on the gun.
Yes, they're on combat stance, ready to fire. Yep. So do not get out the car, and do not, if you already hand them the registration, license registration, do not. Now repeat, do not reach for anything else. That's it.
Exactly.
Don't, because they're not to be played with.
I just want to say that when I got pulled over twice, because I got pulled over twice in my life. The two cops that I've dealt with, I must say, kudos to them, because they were gentlemen. But that ain't everybody's story. That ain't everybody's story.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Because some cops come to you angry. They come to you like they come yelling at you, which is very unprofessional.
Matter of fact, actually, I take it back. I got pulled over 3 times. Actually, remember that time I got pulled over when I was on my way to your house when I got when I got pulled over on Jersey Street. Yeah, now that one had me scared.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. That one had me shook, and it had me shook only because when they pulled me over, it was 2 cops, and the first cop, he had his hand on his gat, and he almost pulled it out.
Oh no!
Yeah, cause he gripped on his he unbuckled the holster, and he had his hand on the handle, and he was in a pulling motion. That's when I had to tell him. That's when I had to tell him, yo, it's in my pocket. It's in my pocket. So he was about to get the pulling. See? Now, the other cop, he was on the other side of the car. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he had. So he could have already had his, I don't know what was going on. I mean, they let me go. They let me go. But what I'm saying is that one had me shook because I was on a questionable street. And the reason why I say questionable is because it's where I lived around the corner at that time. You feel me?
Right.
And and if anybody's familiar with Staten Island, Jersey Street, you know what Jersey Street is known for.
Yeah, man. I mean,
just saying, if anybody know anything about Staten Island, you know what Jersey Street, and you know Jersey Street, it has heavy police activity. The police,
it's very heavy.
The police tower's there. So it's on surveillance. That's like almost a police checkpoint in some ways.
It is.
You know?
In many ways, yes.
That's
that in the other part of Staten. Yeah.
Exactly. Just for those who know Staten Island, you know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That whole Jersey Street heading towards Richmond Terrace projects. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about in the New Brighton section of Staten Island. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Jersey Street. Y'all know about Jersey Street. Anyway, that one had me shook. Out of all interactions with police, no, actually, I didn't have. I had another. Never mind. Now I'm going into my years. Something happened when I was a kid dealing with police, and never mind. I'm not going to go back into my history. But what I'm saying is, be careful. Now, for those, let me just say this. I got a clean record. I ain't done nothing. So, I'm not saying that I've had, but what I'm saying is, for somebody to have, the point I'm making is, you can have a clean record and not do nothing, and then still be, terrorized by race soldiers.
Yes,
I'm just saying, true. You ain't got to be doing nothing wrong. And a lot of people will say, yo, but if you ain't doing nothing wrong, you ain't got nothing to worry about. There was a lot of people who didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And then they're dead. Murdered.
Yeah, you just mentioned the brother that holds the sandwich in his hand.
Thank you. He had a sandwich. He was coming out of the store. If you come out of a store with a sandwich, they said they thought it was a knife.
A knife? Come on, man.
He was leaving the store with a Subway, well, it wasn't from Subway, but it was, your hero roll, typical subs deli sandwich. The long roll, the hero roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He came out with that. They said he thought he had a weapon. He had a sandwich. It was wrapped in white paper. He was coming out of the store.
How can you mistake a
weapon for a sandwich?
for a sandwich.
Well,
You coming out of a store.
Well,
it's obvious that he's not coming out with a.
Well, same reason you can mistake a cell phone for a gun, and that didn't help out when they killed that brother in Sacramento.
Or I'm gonna do the yellow, yeah.
Or some kid got shot over a bottle of medicine somewhere in Massachusetts years ago. I mean, this is crazy. You don't have to have much to so-called pose a threat in somebody's view. And in the movie, the sister pulled out a hairbrush, and then she said, her friend said, "Oh, but it looks like a weapon." She goes, "Okay, well, here's a brush. Does it look like a weapon to you?" "No." "Okay, well, and then what she say? Yeah. Does it look like a weapon in my hands?"
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the girl couldn't answer it. So she said, "Get down on the ground. Get out." And she said, and the girl started crying, and she was scared.
Started crying.
And then what? Mm-hmm. And then what did the sister say? The sister said, "Now you know what it feels like."
Now you know how it feels like. Yeah. Let me tell you something. It's like they don't know. They will never know how it feels like. Mm-hmm. But we know.
Yeah.
We know. We also know so well what it feels like and how it feels. And how our life is flashed before every time an officer or race police pull us over, how our life is flashed before our eyes. We know.
Oh yeah. All right, let's get to Kevin Hart. I'm sorry, y'all. This is kind of like, this was unplanned because I didn't know you saw the movie. Movie. So this is kind of our somewhat analysis. Yes. Not a review, but I just want to let people know, go see the movie, The Hate U Give. Go support that. It should be on like,
I think
it should be on like DVD or something like that. Something like that by now.
Or some stream. Maybe next year it'll come out on Netflix. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, pay-per-view something. But yeah, now let's get into Kevin Hart, man. Now you read up on the story, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and I'm gonna get your opinion, man. So Kevin Hart was supposed to be picked the Oscars, right? But he stepped down because they went into some of his old tweets. I don't know who did. I don't think they did. The committee did, because then they would have just saw it. But supposedly his old tweet surfaced, and they said that it was anti-gay tweets, and so he already apologized for it then. Yes. And so they wanted for him to apologize about it now. His whole thing was, look, I already said I was sorry, and I apologized for it then. But you know what? I'll just step down.
Right.
And y'all just pick somebody else. Nick Cannon came to his defense, and he was like, yo, but what about the backlash for the other people who said things, and they still got what they got? Where was y'all when Sarah Silverman and Chelsea Handler and Amy Schumer was saying this stuff? So he pulled up their tweets. Now, let me go on record saying that I'm not sure if Sarah or Chelsea or Amy was chose to host the Oscars. I don't know if they were an option, but the fact that he went to them shows me something. Maybe for other reason, and he picked up some of their tweets. Now that hasn't been much. Now the backlash that's against Kevin is not the same level of backlash that is against Schumer, Sarah Silverman, and Chelsea Handler. So that was the point that he was making. Now a lot of people are talking about, well, Nick Cannon, you need to look in your old tweets, and Nick Cannon's like, well, first off, I don't care, because I'm not politically correct about nothing. I ain't with politics. I'm about that truth. So Nick Cannon is somebody who really doesn't care to be invited to host some Oscars. That's not his thing. And let me go on record.
Right.
Let me go on record saying that I don't care about no Oscars, man. I don't care about no Oscars. I don't at all. Last year, remember Jada Pinkett led the charge of boycotting the Oscars?
Yes.
And then there was a hashtag that said that went viral called Oscars So White. And they had Chris Rock host it.
Yes.
And then Chris Rock had that cringeworthy, no, I don't know if he had anything to do with it, but there was a cringeworthy skit with Stacey Dash.
Mm-hmm.
When she walked up there and she said, "Happy Black History Month, everybody." Oh Lord,
Oh yes.
what was on her mind? What was on her mind? I mean, here's my thing about her. I mean, she picked so much cotton that year for Fox News. I mean, oh my God, the cotton that she picked. Oh Lordy, pick it better cotton. Oh Lordy.
Oh Lordy. Hee-haw. Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh Lordy. Hee-haw. Oh, man, we can go on and sing that song.
Sunshine. I mean, the cotton that she picked. And then she got fired anyway. I don't want something like that to repeat again for the Oscars. I really don't. I guess I don't care because I don't watch the Oscars. I don't care if you nominate. I don't care if Black Panther wins Best Movie of the Year. I ain't watching it. I ain't watching it.
I hear you.
You know, but anyway.
Yeah, man.
What's your opinion on this, man? What's your opinion on this whole thing with Kevin Hart, man?
Well, I was a little bit annoyed with Chad Griffin, the head of the LGBT civil rights, wanted him to push it more. I guess what he retweeted. He tweeted to Kevin, and he wanted him to it's his responsibility to teach the youth in the LGBT community about and they deserve respect and dignity, which is true, but he kind of reiterated it, meaning like he kept pushing the issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he kept on pushing the issue, and he consistently pushed it. And then it was mentioned about Stonewall, the riots that happened in 1969 when the police officers came in and they bombarded in New York City, bombarded the bar, and they beat up some LGBT folks in the bar. Mm-hmm. Back in 1969. My thing is this, and this is where I stand with this. I mean, when our black folks bring up us, when we bring up about civil rights or Jim Crow or what you call it, slavery, mentioned and told to forget about it, even if jokes are being told about it, and jokes are being. There's splurging jokes sometimes on it. We're told it's kind of like brush underneath the rug and the carpet and say, you know what, push it aside, forget about it. But the LGBT community have more rights than us now. So it's more of him stepping down is more of like okay, though you gotta be what you're walking on thin glass when you mention anything about them. Joke, and Kevin didn't really probably didn't really meant it to be harsh, you know, when he said his joke. I mean, that was back in 2009, 2011. Yeah. Come on, that was a while ago.
I mean, but he could have. But you know how it is. If you say something when you're 5 years old, it's gonna come back to you when you're 45 years old. It's just how the world works. Well, when it comes to us.
Yeah, but yeah. See, correct. When it comes to us, see,
right.
So it's just a simple fact that Kevin had to apologize multiple times and probably still gonna have to apologize too for it. So
well, you know, they're gonna come after his paper and come after his career.
Because you see, the head of the civil rights, Griffin, is pushing it so he can apologize and consistently apologize and then go make a big speech about and make a big speech on it. But you know how it is. Mm-hmm. They get all the accolades and the perks and everything. But when it comes to talking about Black history,
but I find
it's nothing. Yeah,
I find it interesting. I'm gonna need you to talk more about this. I find it interesting that Nick Cannon's the only one that really stepped to Kevin Hart's defense like that. To be honest with you, do you think Kevin Hart would have came to Nick Cannon's defense? Kevin Hart
That's
really.
A good question.
I don't, because Kevin Hart stays out of a lot of mess. And before Kevin Hart was big time, Kevin Hart was on Wild 'N Out, which was on Nick Cannon's show.
Yes.
So Nick Cannon is one of. I'm not saying Nick Cannon put Kevin Hart on, but Nick Cannon is a good contributor to Kevin Hart's career. But I don't know if Kevin Hart would have did that in favor. I don't know if there's been a lot of things against Nick Cannon. A lot of things against that man. And I didn't see Kevin Hart step into his defense when he needed it.
Well, you know, sometimes when you're trying to stack your paper, and when you're trying to stack your paper, you're trying to appease the commercial media. Well, you're trying to be number one.
Yeah, you said that in a nice, polite way. In translation, you mean sell out. When you're trying to sell out.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. So he, I don't know. Because if you're trying to appease, you're trying to not only please our folks, you're trying to please everyone else. And you're trying to be number one according to this media and according to this society. You will not come to the defense of a brother that stand for rights and know what's right and know what's right and not ashamed of it and unapologetically pro-black.
Yeah,
you would not stand for a brother like that.
Yeah,
Nick Cannon stands out, and Nick Cannon says, "You know what? I'm a standing my truth, and this is what I say."
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kevin, when you're trying to, listen, Kevin, you're funny. He's a great guy. He's funny, great comedian. He's also, you might be considered when you're trying to be a legend and trying to be legendary according to the world standards. Gonna jump out and defend a brother don't give a hoot about certain things in the media or what the world thinks,
Yeah,
that's what it is. So no, I don't think Kev would have done that. I don't think so.
Not at this point of his career. Maybe on the downhill, he probably would.
Yeah, or maybe on the low.
Kevin Hart is not as vocal as that of a Dave Chappelle or a Chris Rock. He's not them.
No.
He'll never be them.
No, he's not them. No.
He's not even a level of funny of those comedians either, I might add. No disrespect to Kevin Hart, but I feel like Kevin has kind of spread himself kind of thin with some of the roles he's done. I mean, because that last movie he did was trash.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Which was it called? Night Court? I'm sorry, not Night School.
Night School? Yeah, I didn't see that. No.
With Tiffany Haddish?
Yeah. How was that?
Man, I ain't even see the movie, but somebody told me it was Trinidad Ash. But you could tell from the trailer. The trailer looked butt. It did. If the trailer's corny, if the trailer's corny, the movie's corny.
The movie, yeah, I didn't. It didn't draw my, for some part reason. It didn't draw my interest.
Nah.
It didn't really draw. It didn't really catch me, because I did see some Kevin Hart films,
Yeah.
But that one didn't really grab me to say I gotta go see it.
I mean, he gonna have to do another Think Like a Man, because,
Oh, he was good. He was good on I Think Like a Man, but
Think Like a Man 1 and Think Like a Man 2, But that was a collective. That movie wasn't good just because of him. I mean, that movie was good because of everybody else. You feel me? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway. Mm-hmm. Kevin Hart moral of the story is Kevin Hart got his wake up call. We call that the Negro wake up call. And he got it.
It certainly is, yeah.
Now let's see what happens. Let's see what happens going forward. I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope he saved his money. This is the start of the witch hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it started now as opposed to years ago. He must be up for a very big movie role coming up, and that's why this is coming up. But you know what they say? I'm telling you, they'll let you get to a certain point, and then they'll bring you down.
Bring you down. Hello.
I mean, look at Colin Kaepernick. But Colin Kaepernick is smart. He saved his money, and he's a philanthropist. And the reason why the man is still doing well is because God is blessing him, man. That's what's happening. God is blessing that man.
God is blessing him, yeah. Yeah, but it's true, though. That's true. What you say was true before.
Mm-hmm.
They make you get to a certain point, and then that's when they point. Then when you try to get to when you're trying to get to a certain type of level, that's when they all come crashing down.
That's when it comes. If it's
they pull the carpet from you.
Right. If it's not in a form of this, it's other things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but you know, like Nick Cannon said, I wonder what the backlash should be for the other ones. But I'm not gonna hold my breath for a backlash against Chelsea Handler, Sarah Silverman, and Amy Schumer. Yeah. And by the way, let me talk about Sarah Silverman. Sarah Silverman, disgusting woman, because years ago she did a stand-up bid and she was disrespectful, and she called MLK. She said she called him Martin Luther King, and then later on she said Martin Loser King. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up.
That's what she said?
I'm not making this up. This is on YouTube. I saw this on YouTube. Sarah Silverman be on some racist stuff, man. Disgusting woman.
Yeah, but you see how she said that?
Yeah.
Martin
Luther King.
How she said that?
Yeah.
You see how she said that? Now let's look. Let's brothers and sisters out there. Let's look at this. She said Martin Luther King. That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if any of us were to say anything about the LGBT community, ridiculed, and certain things are pulled from us, certain privileges, certain assets are pulled from us, are pulled right underneath us.
Yeah,
that goes to tell you where the value lies.
Well, God forbid you say God forbid you have a Holocaust joke.
Oh no, that can't be. You can't even mention that. Oh no, oh no, you can't even mention that.
Yeah,
but when it comes to us, for our folks,
can
just make all type of jokes, crack some jokes. You see how she said Martin Luther King?
Yeah, Martin Luther King.
Nobody came out and said anything against it. Nobody said, she should be penalized. Nobody said that she should shouldn't host this show or host that show. She should step down. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, and she corny too. She's not even funny,
she
man.
Just let it slide.
Corny. All these women is corny. Sarah Silverman, Chelsea Handler, and Amy Schumer. Corny, yo. These women ain't funny. They're not even funny, man.
They don't. Man, they don't hold the torch against Kevin.
They don't write their own jokes. They don't write their own jokes. You know, Nick Cannon is funnier than them. And Nick Cannon's not even a full-time comedian.
Sure.
You know, not full-time. I mean, he's a comedian for the most part. He's an actor. He's a good actor, though. Shout outs to Nick. Nick has gotten better as an actor as the years have gone on. His rapping, not so much. I think if Nick got serious, he could have bars. But as a comedian, he got some jokes.
Right.
Nick Cannon has made me laugh at some points, but for the most part, his acting has worked for him. You know, Drumline. I mean, Drumline's like his big. Yeah, Drumline's his biggest movie.
It's a classic. It's a classic now.
You know, it's a good movie. Has replay value. He did very good with that. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna tell you what I respect mostly about Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon has become more of an activist in a lot of ways. I really respect that. So maybe he's found his calling in that. But I still want him to have a career. I still want Kevin Hart to have a career. And as far as Sarah Silverman, Chelsea Handler, Amy Schumer, as far as them having careers, I'm not after their careers. But the point I'm making is that these women are I don't know, Chelsea Handler. I don't know.
Yeah.
She could be funny at times, but the way she talked about 50 Cent kind of reminded me of the typical relationship between a black man and a white woman, and that is the black man could be head over heels for the white woman, and the white woman is looking down at him like, yo, you better be lucky you even with me. You should be if anything, I'm the prize. That's basically how Chelsea talked about 50, and 50, first of all, can do better than some Chelsea Handler. She all old and haggard looking, and I don't even think she's 40.
Oh, she's not even 40 yet? Does she look like that?
Man, a lot of these Hollywood actresses like Cameron Diaz and the one I'm talking about, and even Sarah Silverman, they be looking old, son. They be looking old. Yeah. But shout outs to Sanaa Lathan and Gabrielle Union.
Yes.
And what's my other girl?
Vivica Fox. Yeah. Man.
Well, I was gonna say Nia Long. I mean,
Nia Long, of course,
and Angela Bassett. Oh,
Angela Bassett
aged gracefully. Let me tell you something, man. These sisters are like fine wine. They get better with age. Okay. The rich melanin just ages so gracefully, man. Rich melanin. But anyway, so I know I kind of went off track here, and I know somebody's not gonna like what I'm saying. There's some people out there that's gonna be like, "Dang, Jay, what you trying to say?" I ain't saying nothing wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just said the truth. I'm just saying they age. Some of them aging early out here. I'm just saying they aging. Some of these women in Hollywood are aging early out here. And then when you see without makeup, let me tell you something. I love me some Eva Longoria, but when I saw her without makeup, I was like, dang, girl, you look kind of different. I'm just saying. Eva Longoria was banging on what's that show? Desperate Housewives? She looked good when she made up. Don't get me wrong. She looked good when she made up.
Yeah.
But when she ain't got that makeup on, she quite average. Average. All right? I'm just saying. So, same thing with J-Lo. I saw a J-Lo without makeup on. Oh. I'm like, what?
She'll go with makeup on?
No, no. It's not a good look.
How about Cardi B?
I ain't never seen. I have seen Cardi B without makeup. Cardi B still kind of looks like herself, but yeah. Anyway, let's end this show.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. We get in the show now, yeah.
All right, Zaccheus, any last words?
Yeah, remember what we said about the police. Be compliant, but do not when you pull over, do not get out the car. Keep your hands on the dashboard, and if you have a key in the ignition, take the keys, put it on the dashboard, and when you have a child, remember the child comes first. When you have a child and the police, and you're dealing with the police, the child comes first. Remember, think about the child's safety.
Exactly.
So. Yeah, and to Kevin, brother, sometimes certain things happen to us, and sometimes we just gotta wake up. Sometimes,
yep.
And we see the light. We wake up. No longer sleeping now. We woke and we wake up now. Certain things happening to us, so look at certain things and see it for what it is. Say, listen, hey, if you say certain things 20, 30 years from now, they always bring it up to bring you down. They only want you to get a certain level. Look, I always say they pull the red carpet right underneath you. Yep. Yeah.
So basically, what I got to say is, you know, this is what they did to Kevin Hart. They basically attacked Kevin's heart. Get it? So Kevin Hart needs to understand here. That was corny. But anyway, Kevin Hart needs to understand something. This is why you got to have a backup plan, man. I know he probably wasn't thinking about this when he did Soul Plane and Paper Chasers, but you've done Jumanji and you've done, you know, you're at a point of your career where everything you say and do will be held against you in a Hollywood court of law. So help you God. So you really got to watch what you say. But then also, if you said what you said and you apologize for it, that's fine. Because I've said some things and I've done some things that I can't even. Let me tell you something. If I ever run for political office, somebody going to dig at something. Hey, he did something when he was 10. Oh, he accidentally smacked the girl on the butt when he was 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah. See,
now for me, they'll throw me under the bus. But for somebody else, they'll say boys will be boys. So, going forward, Kevin, create your own lane, man. It's time for you to become financially independent, because I don't know what's going to happen. I think there's going to be a couple roles taken away from you. Going forward, there's going to be some opportunities taken away from you, because this is the start of the witch hunt. And be careful, be wise. I'm not wishing for anything I'm not wishing for his career to end. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling Kevin Hart, be ready. Nick Cannon's already ready. He's already prepared.
Right.
But Kevin, are you ready? And that's all I got to say. Also, y'all go out there and see the hate you give. Zaccheus, where can they reach you, man?
Yeah, they can reach me at Wayne Zaccheus Backus on Facebook. Also, you can hit me up on Twitter. Wayne Backus 2 on Twitter. Wayne Backus 2 on Twitter. Also on Instagram. Zaccheus B73 on Instagram. So yeah.
Okay. All right, you can reach me at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Fifth General. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Fifth General. All right. This is another episode of Mr. Z and Fifth. All right, signing off. This is The Fifth General. Zaccheus.
Mr. Z.
Mr. Z.
That's right.
All right. We're going to get up out of here. We'll see y'all next time.
Next time. Peace.
Peace.